Hello, hello, everybody. It is whiteandnerdyman. Welcome back to Slay the Spire, episode 4 of our Let's Play here. Last time we won. We achieved a triumphant victory over the face of darkness and death, a really weird bird-looking creature. We won by the literal skin of our teeth, 1 HP. So, oh man, I tell you what, I'm still kind of recovering from it just a little bit. I don't really win these kind of games very often, so quite exhilarating. But what's the best thing to do after you win or lose in a roguelite kind of game? Well, you just jump right back in, and that's what we're going to do. So we have unlocked the daily climb with that run. I'm extremely excited about that. That means that the daily climb series will be starting as soon as I am able to get things recording. I'm hoping to record each day's daily climb. If that doesn't pan out, then maybe like every other day or like once a week or something like that. We'll just see how it goes. But optimally, I would like to record 1 daily climb per day. Just make it all one big episode and upload it. But for now, we're going to do a regular run. And we're going to choose our new character class, the Silent. The Silent, a deadly huntress from the Foglands, eradicates foes with daggers and poisons. Her special relic is Ring of the Snake. At the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards. Yeah, this is basically, if you want to think of it as like RPG tropes, the Ironclad is the warrior, the Silent is the rogue, and then we still have the quote-unquote mage to unlock. So all we have to do to unlock the mage, the defect, is to complete a run with the Silent. So win or lose, we will get some permanent progression going on. Let's just go ahead and go. Okay, now that this is not our first run, we encountered this creature. She says, "Greetings, I am Niao." Remember what the tomes said about her. At least confront the first boss. So it's just basically don't be a total scrub. Okay. So we have a choice of a blessing, quote-unquote, for this run. Enemies in your next 3 combats have just 1 HP to their name, or we can get a permanent upgrade of 7 HP. As you can see, the Silent, I think of the 3 character classes, she has the least amount of HP to work with, and unlike the Ironclad, we will not be passively recovering HP each and every time we do a combat. So I think it would be a good investment to have some HP going. Granted. Thank you, Niao. Let us go ahead and consider our path. If you go all the way up to the top, pro tip, you can see the portrait of the next boss that you have to face, so you can maybe try to plan as much as you can accordingly before you go up there. This is the Hexaghost. I don't think we ever faced it in this Let's Play before or not, but it can get pretty annoying pretty quickly. Pardon me for just one moment. We are back. Sorry about that. Just checking a couple things in OBS. It was kind of twitching there on me for a second. Alright, let us go ahead and jump right on in. With this character, I think it'll be generally good to avoid combat until we really get some good card synergy going on. So we will go the route that presents question mark, but we will have to fight an elite enemy in that direction. But honestly, I'm feeling it. Let's just do it. Let's just go ahead and let's just go for it. Okay, first combat here is the lovely little Jawworm. He's going to be dealing a fair amount of damage to us, 11 damage. Now, from what I've played of the Silent, and I don't really consider myself an expert on any of the characters, but the Silent really can get some builds centered around rapid card draw, discarding cards, poison, and just debuffing the enemy as opposed to just all-out assault like the Ironclad typically ends up being. So we have a different selection of cards, and as you can see we have more because of Ring of the Snake. I'm immediately gravitating towards this one, Neutralize, deal 3 damage, apply 1 week, and they will deal 25% less damage. Let me calculate how much that is here. So 25%, and all of you mental math nerds are like, dude. Okay, so he's going to be dealing approximately 8 after we do that, and it's a free card, so why not? Yeah, so honestly, that means we only need to defend twice. We want to negate damage as much as possible since we are not passively healing HP. The trouble with the characters that do not passively heal HP, you will, more often than not, utilize campfires for healing as opposed to upgrades, and that can be potentially a sabotage. But we'll just have to keep on going. So Jawworm's going to take a strike damage. He will hit us for 8, but our block just completely negates that damage with 2 left over. And he is going to buff himself and block simultaneously next turn. Fair enough. We don't have to worry about an attack. Also, the Silent has a really good defense card that, although you discard a card, you get a good amount of block, like the same amount of block for an upgraded defend. So let's just go ahead and just strike, strike, strike. I'm going to watch and see what he does. Bellow. He's going to buff his strength up by 3 points. Once again, his damage increases by 3. I guess 1 for each stack of strength. We will do a similar strategy to what we had before, because really there's nothing else that we can do. This will deal no damage. Might as well. It's just going to end up in the discard pile anyway. Survivor, discard that, and just end the turn. We might as well. I mean, we could go really overboard and just, like, play all those defends, but we really don't have any drawbacks to doing so for the moment being. Once again, he's going to try to buff himself. We just need to get rid of that daggone shield. Strike him twice. He is 1 hit away from death. The Silent may play just a bit slower, so bear with me here on this one. Like I said, I'm not as proficient with this character as I would like to be. But that's why we keep on playing. We just learn, adapt, improvise, grow. And we got some money. Let's see what cards we can add to our deck. We have Sneaky Strike, deal 10 damage. If you have discarded a card this turn, gain 2 energy. That is potentially very useful if we get some discard synergies going on there. Footwork. We gain 2 dexterity. Now, I may have mentioned dexterity in the prior videos, but we really want to explain what dexterity does. It improves blocked gained from the cards. So for 2 stacks of dexterity, you will gain 2 additional block, in addition to like block that you get from a normal card. That could be pretty useful. We can go for like a tankier block-focused build. And then our third option here, Choke. Deal 12 damage. Whenever you play a card this turn, the enemy loses 3 HP. That will make us lose a lot of energy to work with, but it's the same as 2 strikes, essentially. Honestly, I'm feeling Footwork to increase our defensive potential, just to negate oncoming damage, and we'll go to the next question mark. You duck into inside a small hut. Inside you find, oh yeah, it's the Forge. We could get a curse while in the hand and lose 1 HP whenever you play another card. Honestly, that's not a good idea, just because we don't passively heal. So we want to keep our HP intact. That is a very precious resource for those of us who do not heal passively. So we're going to upgrade a card in our deck. We could go ahead and upgrade Footwork to gain 3 dexterity for the rest of combat. I feel like that'll be a viable option. We can upgrade Neutralize to apply 4 damage, deal 4 damage, apply 2 weak, so the weak debuff would last more than just 1 turn. Or we could upgrade one of our strikes or defends, or Survivor. We gain 11 block and discard a card. I think that'll be helpful. I'm thinking wanting to go for a more defensively oriented build, but we'll see how this goes. Sometimes your plans can change depending on what kind of card you get. Now, we have our last chance to consider what we want to do if we don't want to fight this elite enemy right off the get-go. I say we just keep going, and we can fight that enemy right off the get-go. So that question mark was a daggone combat and disguise, but it's just a cultist, so I am not worried. He will be getting stronger as each turn goes on. If you remember, his buff is going to be Ritual. It'll increase my strength by 3 at the end of each of his turns. My thoughts are go Dexterity, just to get the passive defense ready to go. Only be dealing 12 damage this turn, but that's okay. I think we'll be in a favorable enough position. Cow! You do not belong here. Well, neither do you, buddy. We're going to neutralize him to get his damage down to just like a wimpy little kitchen knife there. Strike, strike, and just a regular defend for 7 block. It's 7 because we have the extra 2 from Dexterity, if you remember. And it won't hurt much this turn, but we definitely do need to get this guy nice and dead quickly before he deals a lot of damage to us. As you can see, with weak only having 1 stack from our neutralized card, it wore off the very next turn. So he's going to be dealing 9 damage this upcoming turn. Luckily, we upgraded Survivor, and we're getting an even more block than what we were before because of Dexterity. We'll have plenty to cover that. So hopefully next turn we will have 3 strikes to be able to kill this guy. Yep, 3 strikes. That's what I'm talking about. Dealing out the pain. Get some monies, and let's see what we have. We have Dodge and Roll. Gain 4 block this turn. Next turn, gain 4 block. Blade Dance. Add 2 shivs into your hand. Now shivs are 0 cost attack cards that exhaust each time you use them. There's good potential for that. The shivs only deal 4 damage at their base form, so you have to consider that. Endless Agony. Whenever you draw this card, add a copy of it into your hand. Deal 4 damage, exhaust. So it's kind of like Anger, but not as good, in my opinion. In fact, Blade Dance accomplishes almost the same thing. Essentially free attacks, but 0 cost. Endless Agony. Let's just go Endless Agony. Why not? Uncommon cards have a blue frame and banner. You have rarity associated with your cards. It generally tells like their value, how good they are in combat. And speaking of combat, we're going to go to the next one here. Have a couple of slimes. They're coming at us for 12 damage. My vote, neutralize you. And because of Endless Agony, we get a copy of Endless Agony in our hand. We can Endless Agony, strike, footwork to gain some defense, and defend to completely block his damage, but he will be applying a debuff to us, unfortunately. I could have gone another Endless Agony, but if we exhaust it, then we won't get that back ever again this combat. We might need it in the future, so I thought that was a good idea. He's just going to go for a negative effect, and I believe this one's negative effect is Frail, so it's going to make our attacks a little bit less effective, so really nothing else we could do at this point. Yeah, weakened, unfortunately. No damage, but our damaged output is decreased. Yeah, 4. He's going to go for another lick, unfortunately. But we've done enough damage to him where I think we'll be able to kill him pretty readily next turn. But yeah, once again, hope you guys are enjoying the series as much as I am. Just a ton of fun. This game is probably one of the more compelling ones that I've played recently. I'm going to strength and just neutralize him. Just to, well, neutralize him. We get some gold, and we got a potion, Essence of Steel, get some plated armor going. We'll add a card to our deck, Reflex, unplayable. If this card is discarded from your hand, draw 1 card. That could be potentially useful with Survivor, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a trade-off with that. We'll get an unplayable card in our hand, so if we don't have anything that can discard it, it's essentially like a curse in that instance. So we'll have to keep that in mind. But Flying Knee, we also have Deflect, which is basically a free block. That's not too bad, but Flying Knee, the potential to not only deal much more damage than a regular strike, but next turn gain energy is just an absolute net increase. So whenever we go to the store, I say we can delete one of our strikes to trade for that. Just to keep our deck as small and as optimized as we can. There is a bit of a temptation to get a huge deck, but it can be pretty risky. It just depends on what build you're going for, and I know I can say that 15 million times, but it is the truth. So we're going to be receiving, unfortunately, 17 damage. That's a lot. So you in the back, you're going to get neutralized, so we're only dealing 15 damage. We do have enough among all of our cards to negate that. We'll just discard one of our strikes because we're not going to have enough energy for it anyhow. We're going to defend to get enough block to save us from the damage. We're just going to strike you to waste your block. Not enough energy. Oh, yeah, well. Yeah, pay attention to your energy levels there, White and Nerdy Man. And we're going to get attacked, but it's all good, because each and every one of those, because of the tankier block build that we're going for here, complete and utter negation of damage. We have some endless agonies rolling up in here to save the day. Let's just go Flying Knee against him. I deal a good amount of damage. He curls up, so he's going to be losing that block next turn. Strike to get one attacker out of the way. One Endless Agony. And honestly, we're at a point where I feel like that we can afford to lose both of our Endless Agonies right now. No need to defend, so we'll just skip it. There are some relics and cards that will allow you to preserve energy from turn to turn. We might be able to get to one of those eventually. But for now, we do not have it. Let's just go ahead and apply footwork just to make us more viable, just in case this drags on for longer than what we actually want. Defend, and keep on going. He's going to grow, which is going to make him stronger, but it's all good. We'll be fine. He's going to deal 13 damage, but it's okay, because he'll be dead. Wahaha. Grabbing the monies. We're going to add a card to our deck. Dagger Throw. Deal 9 damage. Draw a card. Discard a card. We have Dash. Gain 10 block. Deal 10 damage. Or we can start going a more poisonous route. Deadly Poison. Apply 5 poison. I honestly don't feel like that we have gotten poisoned early enough in our current run to really try to center our build around it, per se. I don't know. Dagger Throw is really good because it is just, once again, better than one of our other strikes. And we do have a lot of defensive cards. 5 defensive cards, exactly. Survivor, Neutralize. Let us go with Dagger Throw, just to get another damage dealing out there, and we got some card draw potential. Now we're at a campfire. We are very fortunate to the fact that we don't actually have to use this for recovery purposes yet. So let's just go ahead and smith it up. Upgrade something. Flying Knee plus, deal 11 damage. Next turn, gain that 1 energy. Upgrade maybe Endless Agony, deal 6 damage instead of just 4. Dagger Throw, we can make much stronger. 12 damage, draw a card, discard a card. Footwork plus, gain just an extra point of dexterity. Let's upgrade Flying Knee. Although we're missing out on just a little bit of the damage from Dagger Throw, that extra energy will be invaluable for a lot of the silent skills, I feel like. And we are going to face our first true test here on this run, and that is this elite enemy. If you recall, we have seen this fellow before, but just in his non-shelled form. So he is asleep right now, and he will gain 8 block at the end of his turn, unless if we break his block, which is exactly what I intend to do. So Flying Knee. That way we'll have extra energy next turn to run with. He is awakened now, and the music has changed. I do enjoy the music in this game a lot. He is stunned on this turn, so he will not be able to attack. So honestly, now is our chance to just go all out on this Yahoo. No sense in keeping one of our defense. We're not going for defense at all. Let's just go Neutralize, even though that effect will wear off next turn, unfortunately. Go 1 Endless Agony, but we're going to keep 1 just so we don't run out of it. We will want to dole out as much pain as we can on this guy, because he will hurt us pretty badly. Yeah. He's going to be dealing 18 damage. Regrettably, we only have 2 defense, so we will be taking some damage this turn, our first damage this run, unfortunately. But it's all good. I don't know if we have a campfire up next, I can't remember, but I think it's either a campfire or a store. Let's take a gander real quick. It's combat. We will be okay. We can do this, guys. Immediately what I'm seeing with this hand is just Neutralize. That's a no-brainer. So now we only have 13 damage to deal with. But tell you what, Footwork to gain some dexterity. Survivor, we only have to play 1 defend card. And just strike him. Like I said, we're playing defensively, but that's okay. We've already whittled him down to about halfway. He's going to be applying a big debuff on us that's going to be decreasing our strength and our dexterity, so we need to really just start kicking the crap out of this guy. I'm sure, defend. I mean, there's not really much else that we can do at this point. Siphon Soul. This will make it a little bit harder to eliminate him, but it's all good. Okay, so we have Endless Agony in here. Let's just go Dagger Throw to get a card draw. Yeah, this card is Strike. Defend, we will only be getting 6. That's regrettable, but we have to keep going with what we got. He's going to hit us for 12. Not great. But remember, we chose this. I chose this. Deal 2 damage, apply weak. 5 damage, 5 damage, 6 block. We will be taking 7 damage, but hopefully next turn will be his demise. We've lost more HP than what I'm extremely comfortable with this go-around, but it's okay. Because he is now dead, and we have a relic at the end of this. Or a Cowcomb. This is our good buddy that really helped us out last run. But it may not be as useful for us this time around, just because we do have a lot of defensive cards, but we might as well take it. And let's see what cards that we have to roll with. We have Choke, again. Whenever you play a card this turn, the enemy loses 3 HP. That'll be useful to stack that with Endless Agony. We have Deflect, just a free block. Our cards really aren't expensive thus far, so honestly, going with Choke doesn't seem to be a horrible idea. We have another combat, but right after that is a chest. I think we're going to be just fine there, guys. Now, this enemy is the first time that we've encountered this one. His buff is Spore Cloud. On death, he'll apply 2 vulnerable to us. So we need to be cognizant of that. He's going to go for a straight weaken. Honestly, let's go Choke. Flying Knee to get some energy next turn. He's going to take a little bit of damage and just go for Neutralize just for the kill. And now we'll only have that Spore Cloud creature to deal with, and we'll have another energy this turn. He's going to grow, get more strength as a result. That won't hurt too bad, I don't feel like. We're going to go Strike, Endless Agony. Let's just go ahead and use up Endless Agony. I'm not remiss about that. Defend once in the turn, I guess. He's going to attack us, but that's just going to be no bueno. And damage, damage, damage for the death. Really miss seeing that HP increase each and every time that we complete a combat, but it's okay. Let us see what rewards are before us. Okay, here's an interesting one. Glass Knife. Deal 8 damage twice. Decrease the damage of this card by 2 this combat. So this is great for an initial blow. That's 16 damage on an enemy. But its effectiveness will go down every single time that we use that, you know, like a breaking glass knife, really. Or we could go Poison Stab, which is strictly better than one of our strikes again. Deal 6 damage, apply 3 poison. Honestly, our store is coming up soon, so we have some cards, we have some considerations to deal with here. Just about what we need to take out of our deck, and what we need to keep in there. I really like Glass Knife, but it will only be useful for a certain period of time. After that, it gets diminishing returns. Poison Stab, let's just go for it. We'll definitely delete one of our strikes when we get to the shop. Let's go to the chest and see what rewards we have from here. Paper Crane, enemies with weak deal 40% less damage rather than 25%. That'll be really good to go with our Neutralize. Don't want to fight another elite enemy consecutively, so let's just go to the next question mark. Oh, we actually have a shop prematurely, which is fine. Buy something, he says. Well, hold on. Okay. So, here's where the great debate lies. Whenever you shuffle your discard pile, gain 6 block. Until next turn, prevents damage. Happy Flower, every 3 turns, gain energy. I'm at a loss. Got some good cards up here too. Finisher, deals 6 damage for each attack played this turn. That'll be really fantastic for like shivs. But we're not going for that at the moment. We do Trip, apply to Vulnerable. Honestly, the energy gain is extremely tantalizing because we're getting some more expensive cards in our deck now. So let's go for that. On to the next part. We're going to go combat and then go straight to the store again because maybe we'll get enough money. Maybe we'll get enough money to remove one of our cards. Holy cow. We are off the bat getting like 18 damage being dealt to us, but we'll have enough to kill one of these enemies instantly this turn. So I say, let's just go for that. Make him immediately dead. Now we're only dealing with 13 damage. We have enough. We have enough to make sure that this guy dies on the next turn. Oh, really, this guy? Well, no, not anybody else, unfortunately. So we're going to ensure that this guy dies. The great thing about poison is that it will inflict upon them whatever damage that they're to receive before they even take their turn. And we'll go Survivor, get rid of the strike, and we'll subvert the damage that we were going to be taking this turn. 2 out of the 5 slimes are dead. Unfortunately, we will receive Weakened, so our attacks will be a little bit less effective, but luckily, these guys just have a very paltry amount of HP. Not really much else that we can do here, except strike the guy with the lowest amount of HP, and simply block up from there. Not too shabby. We'll just be taking the damage, and we'll keep on trucking on here. Won't be too long before we get to our boss. Okay, so I have Endless Agony and Dagger Throw. Choke will instantly kill one of these enemies. Let's kill him, because the next time that we play a card, it'll lose 3 HP and just be completely dead after that. Dagger Throw. Yes, because we do have to discard a card. Honestly, defend at this point. He's dead. Neutralize. Endless Agony. Endless Agony. Dead and dead. Okay, unfortunately I don't think we will have enough money to remove a card in the next store. That is a shame. So let us see our other options here. Acrobatics. Draw 3 cards, discard a card. Piercing Wail. All enemies lose 6 strength this turn. Exhaust. Yeah, I think that'll be good, actually, to help keep our blocks rolling. And, honestly, I really don't see a point to going to the store. We just don't have enough money. This might be a combat. This might be an upgrade. Who knows, but we might as well just take a look. You find a shimmering mass of light encompassing the center of the room. Its warm glow and enchanting powers invite you in. We can upgrade 2 random cards at the cost of 15 HP. We do have a campfire coming up right before the boss, and hopefully these 2 question marks won't be combat, so we'll only be at 35 though. But the permanent upgrades, decisions, let's just go for it. So we've upgraded a strike and a defend. As you walk through the light, you notice the light is absorbed into you. It's scorching hot. However, the pain quickly recedes. You feel invigorated, as though you received a well-deserved slap. Ouchies. So we'll go to the next question mark here. You come across an inconspicuous pedestal with a shining gold idol sitting peacefully atop. It looks incredibly valuable. You're sure there's a little bit of grammatical thing here. You sure don't see any traps nearby. Never mind, it's just not a grammatical problem, it's me. We can have a relic that makes enemies drop 25% more gold, but we trigger a trap. Let's just leave it be. If there ever was an obvious trap, this would be it. You decide not to interfere with objects placed upon pedestals. No Indiana Jones action tape. One last question mark, hopefully an actual question mark, but if it's not, it's combat. How did I know? Right off the bat, my immediate instincts say, neutralize this fellow. We'll dagger throw him. Draw and discard. We'll only be taking 11 damage. We'll get rid of a strike. We'll use one Endless Agony to get rid of his buff. We will defend and defend to negate that damage. And they will all lose their block at the end of the turn. So now they're a bit more vulnerable, and next turn we should just be able to go in for the kill. That guy on the end is going to grow to get some strength. I think we would be just fine. We could use Piercing Wail to really send them scurrying. Yeah, let's go ahead and use Flying Knee to kill the guy that's going to be dealing the most damage to us. Could use footwork to increase our dexterity. Honestly, Survivor will discard Piercing Wail for now, and defend to negate that 14 damage, and then we'll be approaching our boss. We are doing quite dandily, if I do say so myself. I say strike, and because of the dandelion, because the happy flower, we had 5 energy to work with, so that's awesome. Strike, strike, choke. For the death. We get some money. A skill potion. Choose one of 3 random skill cards and add it to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. We'll definitely roll with that. Add a card to our deck. We can do Quick Slash. Deal 8 damage, draw a card. Prepared. Draw 1 card, discard a card, or all-out attack. Deal 10 damage to all enemies. Discard 1 card at random. That could be potentially risky. But the chance to deal to all enemies, we could probably save it for the very end of our turn, so it would be a little bit irrelevant anyway. Let's just do that. I'm feeling a little bit daring. Once again, I try to play with the most skill and efficiency that I possibly can, but sometimes I just like to take risk. So we are not going to have full HP for the boss, unfortunately. With rest, we will only gain 30% of our maximum HP, so we'll be at 58. That makes me slightly concerned. We might possibly die. But we're going to do our daggone best. We might as well go ahead and pop Plated Steel to beginning that passive block each and every turn, because this guy deals some very powerful attacks. I also say, let us get some footwork going here, just to prep ourselves for the coming onslaught. Poison Stab, start some passive damage, getting wreaked upon his villainous hide. Strike him, to also start whittling him down. We'll wait to play that skill card. And because of Orichalcum and Plated Steel, we have at least 10 block. And there he is. That is going to seriously hurt. That is 30 damage. We will Dagger Throw to get card draw going. Is it even worth defending against that? We'll be ending up with 10 block at the end of this, but that attack will pretty much utterly wreck our plated armor bonus. But I honestly don't see us having much of another choice, so don't worry about defend this turn. Unfortunately. Well, that'd be better than... Well, yeah, we might as well just go for flat damage increase. Knee. Strike. Endless Agony. Keeping 1 just so we can have in our deck. We've already got this guy about a fifth of the way down. We could do this. We could use a random skill, and although it'll cost 0 this turn, it'll be added into our deck for the rest of combat, so let's just do it. Yes, Deadly Poison. Let's just start doing passive damage to him each and every turn. He'll be taking 7 damage this turn. We have 10 to work with, so we'll only be taking 20 damage, but we're already down to... Yeah, And plated steel is just gone. Unfortunately, that was not optimal at all. Neutralize, I say. Defend for 7 block. Strike. All-out attack. He's going to take 6 damage from poison. He's going to hurt us a little bit, but we'll receive a card that's going to give us 2 damage whenever it gets drawn into our hand. We will have to keep that into our considerations. We're going to choke this dude. We're going to do Survivor to negate that damage. Discard Defend. He got 3 damage from that. He's going to take 5 damage from poison, so he's already 100 HP down. And each and every time that he does one of those attacks, whenever he gets to that 6 flames again, it's going to get scary. We will receive damage, but with Dagger Throw, we won't, because we can discard it to subvert that damage. As long as we discard it, it has to stay in our hand, remember, for us to take damage. So we're just going to get that out of here. No burns for me. Defend, we will gain 7 block. We might as well just negate all the damage that we possibly can. He's probably going to add another Seer into our hands, unfortunately. That'll get shuffled into the draw pile. We have Endless Agony again. Let's just go all out this turn, since he's just going to be buffing. Defend, defend. Let's save Endless Agony. We might really need it. He's over halfway down. We might win, we might lose. I'm feeling slightly confident. 14 damage coming in. But we have Neutralize. That'll take him down a little bit. We can just plop another Deadly Poison on him. Defend Plus will actually get us enough that we need. Strike is vestigial at this point, just because it's just not going to deal with enough damage to actually get through his block. His block will fade. He will take some poison damage. And he only has 1 more attack before he goes that crazy, super powerful attack that is going to make me very afraid for my life. We're going to go Choke, just because with that card being played first, he will take damage for each subsequent card that we play. Neutralize. This is a bit of a debate for me. We can gain the 7 block to negate that damage, or we can do Flying Knee to get the... Let's just do Flying Knee to get the energy. Just because he will unleash a very, very powerful attack next turn, and I may not survive. Oh, and actually, Orichalcum is there for us, so never mind. So we're good on that one. Yeah, he will be dealing 4 times 6. 28 damage. And we'll be taking 2 because of Burn. This turn will play itself Survivor to get rid of Burn. Awesome. So we'll only be taking 8 of that, actually. He's going to receive some poison damage. I'm honestly liking where we are right now. It's not nearly as bad as it was before, but this upgrades all of his burn cards, and we get a ton more shuffled into our deck. Unfortunately, Dagger Throw to draw a card. We will discard regular Defend. We will strike. I think Endless Agony's time has finally come to an end. Use Defend to get some block. Next turn, I think for sure, he will be kicking the bucket. And we've actually played a lot better than what I thought we would on this. I mean, it's not like I'm intentionally trying to do bad, but oh yeah, we'll bring it in, Poison Stab, for the win. The boss has been vanquished. Alright guys, fantastic. We got 99 gold, a weak potion, and let's see what cards we can get to our deck. So Glass Knife again, it's waving in our face. Deal 8 damage twice. Once again, decrease the damage each time we use it. Phantasmal Killer, next turn your attack deals double damage or burst. This turn, your next skill is played twice. It's all really good. Let's go Phantasmal Killer. We can get some next turn planning going on. That along with like the knee to the face, whatever that card is called. Flying Knee. To have energy for the next turn. I think we can use that well, but we really do need to get some cards discarded from our deck. Let's see rewards what we have. We could choose a relic, white beast statue. Potion always appear in combat rewards. Nifty. Astroblade. Upon pickup, transform 3 cards and then upgrade them. Have the potential to change the composition of our build entirely. Or Sozu. Gain energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer obtain potions. Oh man, so this is a very interesting, we kind of have polarizing relics here. Potions always, or no more potions ever. Let's just go ahead and go no more potions ever for the cost of that new energy. Honestly, more energy is better, at least for this current run. We're going to proceed from here, but for now, that's going to take care of the episode for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I am White and Nerdy Man. I'm going to try to upload these as much as I possibly can. Daily Climb is coming. I will be posting that here before too long, if I haven't already posted it already by the time of this video. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I certainly am. If you like what you see, just leave a comment, subscribe if you're so inclined. Leave any suggestions that you would like. I would love to cater the series to what you guys want to see. In the meantime, once again, White and Nerdy Man, slay the Spire. So it's episode 4. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.